Hello. I think we're live. That weird 30 seconds before you are actually live or know if you're live.
Right. When
Oh man.
you're not seeing any comments.
Yep, here we are. I think it's just us. But I was on Dole Whip Dad's live stream. He was sending people our way, and Dis Our Dream actually streams at the same time we do. So I think people will pop back and forth between them. But
That's good. I would rather people do that.
yeah,
I didn't
me too.
realize they were on at this time.
Yeah, I didn't either. I know last week they did like a pin stream. So yeah, I don't like overlapping with other people's time. It's a little bit difficult with as many people that are in the community to not overlap somewhere at some point in time. But
Yeah, and that's the thing is, half the time you don't even know who's like. There's so many people that live stream. It's like, I mean, just Diz and that. Those guys, they all have their own times they live stream, plus Diz and that.
right.
And it's like, man, plus
Yeah.
Resort TV 1 and Corey and
Yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot of us. All right.
But yeah, I was supposed to be on Dole Whip Dad's birthday stream. He had messaged me about it earlier in the day, but I guess that was Thursday night, maybe.
Yeah.
But I had to work that night, and by the time I got home, you guys were streaming, and he hadn't sent a link, so I was just like, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, it was a long stream. It was a lot of fun though. Hey Pepper G Villa. Hey Mike Wheeler. Welcome to the chats. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was funny being in there because I know nothing about any sports whatsoever.
Right.
I'm here to celebrate and talk Disney. But how's everybody? How was your week, Josh?
It was good. Busy. This is a busy time of year for me. Sorry, if I'm not looking at you. I'm trying to open up the chat through YouTube.
You're fine. I've got. That's why I keep looking over here. My chat is open on the side screen. That's easier to look at. So that's why I'm like. So busy time of year for you? Is that what you said?
Yeah, well, that was weird. I opened up the stream to get the pop out chat, and so I was hearing what you just said like 5 seconds ago. But yeah, this is so like all my clients, they always typically have big projects this time of year because it's getting close to their end of year or the end of the year and before the holidays. So they want to get a big project rolling out while it's the holidays to get it ready for next year. So.
Hi, Bobby. Yeah, that sounds because you're talking about photography in.
Well, that's graphic. That's my design client. So my main business is graphic design, and then I work. Like today, I have a wedding to shoot, which I'm not the most thrilled about because here in Tennessee, it's rainy and dreary.
Oh.
It's like a classic fall day. It's a day that you just want to stay inside and like watch like Hocus Pocus.
Yes. Yeah, it's a little dreary here today, but it's 85.
Yeah, it's not 85 here. Currently, well, it's 68 right now, but there's a thunderstorm about to happen, so that's why it's so warm.
Yeah. Hey, Blue Nose, welcome to the chat. Yeah, I'm just been working like normal, so we're actually coming into busy season down here because of living in South Florida. That's where all the snowbirds come and starting to get bad weather up north. So that's when we get an influx of like 50. Squeaker.
Yeah, well, I just saw like a giant shadow come diving into this room. And I was like, what is that? And it was my dog. Addie must have thrown a toy in here.
That's funny. But yeah, everybody comes down here. So we go from we double our population for about 5 months. So that's fun.
Yeah, I remember when we lived in Florida, or when Britt never lived in Florida, when I lived in Florida and all the snowbirds would come down. And you always could tell because it would be like the people in the grocery store who just seemed like kind of out of place.
Yeah.
And when they usually weren't very nice. They were older folks, and they usually weren't the most nice people.
Hi, Mike Riley. Hey, Two Real Geeks. Yeah, where's Kronk?
Jeff, no, I'm not an Orioles fan. I just like caps. Like, if I had to pick a team, I'd probably go with the Braves. But I just wear all sorts of baseball caps. I got another cap here.
Nice. Cool.
I get that a lot. I'll have people be like, "Man, how about those Rockies this year?" And I'm like, "Yeah, go Rockies!" And
Well,
it's just because I
everybody,
have the hat on.
right. Like everybody assumes that because I'm from Michigan, I'm like an all Michigan sports teams fans. Like, what do you think about the Lions? And
Yeah,
how about them Red Wings? And I'm like, yeah, they're from Michigan, like me. I don't
yeah.
know.
No, I get that. People ask me about the Titans sometimes, and I'm like, I don't really watch the Titans. I mean, Steelers, I can tell you something about the Steelers, but I'm not a Titans fan. But I mean, I guess I asked for it wearing the hat.
You did. So I didn't really make an agenda for this chat. Hey Jeff, Doe Whip Dad, welcome to the chat. I didn't really think about what I exactly wanted to talk about. I just figure it kind of happens. We find something to talk about.
Well, that's part of what makes our stream different is we just kind of ramble. We find something and we talk about it. Like last week, we talked about Disney Vacation Club. That was definitely planned.
The rally to get Lynn to sign up for DVC. That was came from the side. I got smacked upside the head with that one. I'm like, oh yeah, I started looking into it after that when I got home from work.
It's I mean, not to bring it back up, but I'd say it's worth it.
Yeah, I definitely am doing more research and adding it to my notes and trying to figure out how I can fit that in. Because I mean, back on the resort topic, like I've stayed at all 3 tiers, and as far as staying at moderates, I really, really love them because I feel like it's the best bang for your buck. Like you're getting a little nice slice of like the luxury of a deluxe, but at more of a lower tier price, which you can actually get. I don't know, it gets really tricky. I really loved All Star Movies, and that is one of the the values that all of the rooms are renovated, where at music they aren't. So they're older and kind of like I saw your room tour that you did on it, and they're like you don't. I don't know. It doesn't feel like Disney quality, really.
It feels like pre Bob Iger Disney.
Yeah.
Like Mike Eisner Disney, which that has nothing to do with the resorts, but it's like old Disney back when Disney Channel was like what it used to be, like 90s, early 2000s Disney.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of like Holiday Inn Disney.
Yeah. Now like I think Art of Animation kind of holds a special spot for us. We really like that one. And Pop, I like Pop fine, and Pop and movies, they're about the same for me.
Yeah.
I mean, the rooms are almost identical, really.
I found the noise level was a huge difference from Pop to music, where Pop, it sounded like when people were walking down the hallway, they were breathing over my bed. And that I did not experience at movies.
Yeah.
And I'm a super light sleeper, so that's a huge factor for me.
But, you know, like going back to DVC, I think the lowest room that you would get on a DVC is it would feel the least luxurious would be a moderate. Like we stayed at Old Key West, and that was pretty much a moderate. But like,
you think so?
Oh, for sure. Now, granted, Old Key West is the original DVC resort. It's the rooms are not like any other, because it was like when they were kind of testing the waters with DVC. Mm-hmm. So the rooms are a lot bigger, and you can tell where they've taken 2 rooms and split them in, or taken 1 room and split it into 2, because they were like a big loft, basically.
Hey, Rob Fuzz, Holiday Inn Disney, ouch.
But I enjoy it, but moderates overall, like I think even moderates have gotten better. Like look at Coronado now with
Coronado, yeah.
Destino. I mean, that feels like a you know
Even not Destino
deluxe.
in all the other areas, like
Yeah, in the casitas.
because it's a convention center, that property, and
Mhm.
you get the deluxe, which I'm a sucker for. I don't use any of them, but I just like taking them home as souvenirs. All the little like trial size shampoos
Oh
and
yeah.
conditioners and lotions, and I'm like, here, I brought you something home from Disney, some
Well,
body
so like
lotion.
basically that's like I equate that to like my Disney relapse kit, not relapse. Um, like what's the word I'm looking for? Like when you're like jonesing for it.
Disney
Like
Blues kit.
yeah, so that's my fix kit. So like I'll
I
have
fixed
that,
it. I
and
like
Britt's
that.
like, "Hey, you mind if I use this?" Like, no, don't touch my H2O Disney stuff.
That's great.
But like the little cards they give you with the little like kind of sketch and quote on it, like I started
Mhm.
kind of collecting those to see how
I
many
did
different ones
too.
I could get.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And it's always a nice treat when you go into a resort that's got a big change going on and you find a pin.
Yeah.
Um, I haven't been so lucky, but I know others that have. Like when the first people that stayed at Grandestino got the Grandestino pin, or
That's
when they
awesome.
were building that, they got the construction pins,
Caribbean
Skyliner
Beach
pins.
had
Yeah.
the construction ones. That's really cool. Yeah, I have about, I would easily say, I probably shouldn't admit this. I think I have like 8 bars of the H2O soap in the boxes at this given moment.
Yeah, because typically now with the bottles that they like have mounted, they still give you like the facial bar of soap or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I always swipe that. It's like,
I mean,
I'll take that.
a little perk.
Or
Uh,
if I didn't decline mousekeeping, I'll just take them and hide them, and then they'll give me more. But typically, I decline housekeeping or
so do
mousekeeping
I. I always do.
because
Always,
it's worth
always.
it. Unless you're just like a tornado and you come in your room and you just like flip everything upside down.
Right.
Why why not get free money?
I feel like we're not in the room enough to even make it that big of a mess.
Right. Like when I go in the room, I just die, and then like I get brought back to life by coffee in the morning.
Coffee in the shower and you're ready to go. Bobby Mike Wheeler says as Bobby Boucher said, that's some high quality H2O.
Yes, it is.
It is. We love it. Uh,
And honestly, to talk about like how Disney is so nostalgic and gives you vibes. So when I stayed at the Good Neighbor, it was the which one was it? The
Hilton.
Hilton, the Bonnet
When
Creek Hilton.
okay.
It was the Bonnet Creek Hilton, and that's one of the things I missed the most. I missed Stacy on TV,
Mhm.
or
They don't
the
have that there?
no, and they don't have the Disney Parks loop where it talks about the weather and all that.
What?
And they didn't have the H2O, and I was like, I'm never staying here again. Like for real, like I
Done.
missed that. Like I that was one of the first things I told Britt. I was like, like that's almost a deal breaker for me. Now I would stay there if
Yeah.
there was nowhere else to stay,
Yeah.
but
Well, like with your last trip, it was coming down for one day, just a place to sleep, basically. So it wasn't that big of a deal. But typically, you're there for 2 to 4 nights, right?
well, it's just part of the experience.
Yeah, I
Like
agree.
you expect it, and like I don't even watch TV in my room. It's typically must do Disney or must do TV or whatever it's called,
Uh-huh.
Stacy, and or the Parks loop. And when I didn't have that, I was like, what am I supposed to watch? Like regular TV? Like you
What?
mean I gotta watch normal TV at Disney?
What? Jeff said we had to tell our girls to stop taking this soap. They were putting it in their bags before we could use any. That's me. I take it down right away. I'm like, no, you're not
I
using
don't
this
blame
here.
them.
Yeah. Um, so on like let's talk about, toiletries for a minute. And when you go to the DVC and the value resorts, you get mouthwash and a Like,
DVC and the deluxe resorts.
yeah, what did I say?
Value.
Yeah, deluxe. That's what I meant.
Yeah, that's what you meant.
um, but it's like a whole spread. There's like a shower cap,
Yeah,
and
like what?
I know. I'm like, oh my gosh.
What
But
am I
yeah,
going to do with this shower cap?
I'm just gonna wear it around the room. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna bring it in case it rains. I don't know.
Yeah. Like I just sweated all day in a theme park. The shower cap's really going to make a difference.
Yes, I need to protect my hair. But it's just cool to see all those little products there and super excited. I think I said this last week, but Animal Kingdom Lodge is coming up for us in January, and we haven't been there in like a year and a half. And I got like almost a moderate rate on that room. I don't know how, but I did. So that's really exciting.
That's funny you say that because we're also staying at Animal Kingdom Lodge in January.
Oh, but we're missing each other that trip, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're staying there through DVC.
Nice.
So the 2 stays that we have booked, not including our November trip, is in January is Animal Kingdom Lodge, and then I think it's March is Copper Creek.
Nice. That'll be your first day at your home resort, right?
Yeah, actually, yeah, because our first welcome home, our first stay on DVC was at the Poly.
Right.
But yeah, I would be excited. I mean, especially when you get a good deal like that.
Yeah, for sure.
I've never stayed at Animal Kingdom Lodge, so I'm excited to get the pin and add it to the board because I get a pin for each resort that I've stayed at. And the only one that I don't have that I've stayed at is Art of Animation, so I'll have to grab that one.
I need to grab that one too, because I started collecting after I stayed at most of them, so now I'm backtracking and going around and picking up all my pins I missed.
Yeah, and like it's weird because like Old Key West. Okay, so like when you go to Old Key West, put them over your Mickey ears. That's a good idea. That's a good little hack. I do that at home.
Everybody watch out.
But like some resorts have like multiple pins for the resort. Like for instance, when we stayed at the Poly, I got the Polynesian pin, but I also got the Trader Sam's pin.
Yeah.
And then like at Old Key West, you get the Old Key West resort pin, but they have a tour at Old Key West that's free, where you get the kind of the history of Conch Flats and Old Key West, and you get a pin for that tour, and it's a free tour. Actually, it's right here.
So tell us a little bit more about that. Like, how do you sign up for it? Is it limited? Do you have to be there by a certain time?
It's a certain time, and you go. The day changes, so you have to check with the front desk or like the resort. They give you like the schedule of what's going on at the resort, and you just got to be there at a certain time. And it's about a 2-hour tour. And you get this pin. It's a pretty good sized pin. Sorry, my webcam.
That's cool.
I know it's not really focusing, but
it's free, and you get a pin, and you get to.
And it's pretty big. I mean, like here's a Lego Gandalf for comparison.
just here. I just happen to have this Lego Gandalf right here. That's great.
Let me see if I can get it back without knocking anything over.
A Once Upon a Venture.
That's skills.
Jeff said, Mike Wheeler, we can expect a vlog on the shower cap Mickey ear hack coming soon.
Well, then everybody will see you walking through the park and like, what is that guy wearing? Is that like a mini chef hat?
It's like a poncho for your Mickey ears. Oh, that's good.
That is good.
I know we talked about on Jeff's stream for a minute when I was listening. I was driving back from work, and somebody brought up DVC and asking questions. And I suggested you as a resource for that because you stayed at quite a few of the DVC resorts in the fairly short time that you've been officially DVC, plus your Disney Vacation Planner.
Oh yeah, we've been burning our points, burning them.
But it was borrow from next year and then stay at value for a little bit.
That's right. Our goal right now is just to add more points.
Yeah.
Well, and what happens is, like, you know how you said when you first started, you said at Animal Kingdom Lodge. That was your
Yeah.
first resort.
Yeah.
And it kind of spoiled you.
Yeah.
And that's what happens with DVC is they give you so many perks. Like, you know, when we go and we stay and, you know, they greet us with welcome home. And they tend to be a little bit more caring. Like the most I've ever gotten, like when we stayed at Old Key West, like the hospitality there, and funny enough, they're like where their main desk is called the hospitality house. But like everybody told us welcome home. They jumped through hoops for us.
Yeah.
Um, like they made some adjustments to our room so we could, because we had a split stay both at Old Key West. They made adjustments. They got us some points back. Just they were awesome and ended up getting us fast passes, like 3 for each day.
That's awesome.
That were just like for anything, because sometimes you get
Open
like
fast passes.
yeah, well they were, but some of them like they'll be like they're for anything except Mine Train or except Flight of Passage. These were for anything.
Wow.
And it was just because they kept us for a little while when we first got there.
Spoiled.
Well, and it does, it spoils you, and you know, just different things like that, and having access to the Epcot lounge for DVC. They're above Journey into Imagination. There's like sodas and stuff up there that you can get, snacks, and then Top of the World Lounge, all that stuff. It just spoils you. And so like, then you're like, okay, how can I get more points? Which is probably why Shep now has like, you know,
5,
a leprechaun's
DVC.
golden bucket of DVC points.
That's great.
And I would say, you know, I know quite a bit, but Shep has been around the block. He's bought and sold used and through Disney. I would defer to Shep. Even if somebody asked me, I'd probably send him to Shep. I mean, I'll help where I can, but that dude, you know, he's been through it.
Yeah, I definitely need to talk to him more about what we were talking about last week with the I mean, I had so many technical difficulties. It was so hard listening and hearing and keeping my camera still. But with buying the resale, I think that that's a really good option to also dive into it.
Disney, you know, like for Moonlight Magic and things like that, you have to buy it through them. But like next time I buy, I'll probably buy resale because I've already bought through Disney. So there's no sense in me buying more through Disney.
Right. Because you already have all the perks that you need from that.
Right. And so I might as well save. Yeah. And so if I'm just adding on, I'll buy, you know, through another resort to get the perks of being able to book there, you know, however long it is. I forget how long the time frame is, because basically with DVC, you can book your home resort out farther than any other resort. So like, I don't own a Boardwalk. I can book there, but I can't book there
within a certain time frame.
Well, I can't book there like an owner could.
After, what is it? So like more than 6 months out, something like that.
Yeah. I don't know off the top of my head, but like, for instance, we can book Copper Creek farther out than somebody who doesn't own a Copper Creek.
Right.
Like Jeff, I think he owns at the Poly. He can book the Poly farther out than somebody else.
That's another thing that I struggle with too, is like I book 2 months out max, usually less. And actually this trip coming up in November and then my birthday one in January are the most I've had 2 trips planned out that far in advance at a time. Usually it's like 6 weeks max.
Well, and
way more emails this time about planning my trip.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, I saw where they released dates for Moonlight Magic, and I was already trying to figure out how I can move my trips around, but I'm not doing that. If it works out for later in the year, I'll definitely be going. But that's the other thing is when you buy into DVC through Disney, when I mentioned Welcome Home, they will make sure you get into whatever resort. Like if there's any availability, they'll dip into like availability for regular guests to get you in, to make sure you can stay. And we just chose the Poly because, you know, it's the Poly.
Right.
And
it's like everybody's dream resort.
Right. And so we did that, and that was great. So that's why, last minute doesn't really work out the best for DVC. Like, for instance, we stayed at Good Neighbor. I called DVC and they did everything they could, but typically all that's
So,
available last minute
um,
is like one bedroom villas or more, which is a gob of points. And
yeah,
now for you guys, you know, with there being 4 of you, that wouldn't be so bad. But like for me, just going like by myself or just me and Britt, it's like I don't
yeah,
need a 1 bedroom villa.
right.
Like I'm not living here for 2 months.
I even think that for us, even though like my boys are bigger, they're teenagers and stuff, but I mean, we can sleep in the same room together and it's
Right.
fine. It's we're just there to sleep. It's not like we're hanging out and like living at home where we need
Right.
like, go to your room and you need your space and give me mine. It's
Right.
we're there to sleep and shower and get back out there.
Right. You're not sleeping, you know, or you're not staying like the people who come over from the UK are. You're not there for two
Right.
weeks.
Exactly. And our trips are typically fairly short. We've never stayed more than 4 nights.
Yeah. So like we'll have typically in a year, um, like we'll probably have a family trip that's a longer trip. Like this one
Mhm.
coming up, I think it's 6 day, 5 nights.
Mhm.
Um,
But that's
and then
the
earlier in the
whole
year,
family.
right? Well, see, and then when it's just like me and Britt, like earlier in the year, we did an anniversary trip and stayed for a pretty lengthy stay. And what ends up happening is you just get worn out.
Yeah.
And like I just feel like I'm gypping myself and I just hang out at a resort.
Yeah.
Which I know that's part of it and you paid for it. But like next time we go, like in March, Britt's like, I'll probably hang out at a pool because she's due in May.
Yeah.
So like, and we'll be
Take
at
it
Copper Creek.
easy.
It's like, well, that's good. You'll be able to actually enjoy the resort because I just can't.
I have a
Like I
hard time
feel
with it
guilty.
too. Yeah. We did
But
that when we went to Coronado when we were there the same time you were. We did a pool day on Sunday morning, and it was really nice. Like just and their pool is so awesome there, the dig site, and it
Mike,
what
I'm seeing it on the YouTube stream of
I
the chat.
can. Mike says I can just see when you say you're in trouble, you go to bed and sit there and don't don't look at my bed. Yeah, I mean, go to your bed. I just like I saw it after I said it. Like just
Well, that was like me. I read it and then I had to read it again. And I was like,
yeah.
oh,
Like go sit out in the hallway or
yeah,
go to the bathroom, go sit in the tub,
yeah. Shame on you. Go to the lobby.
go to the lobby. I mean, that's not a punishment.
Walk the
Hey,
2
just
miles
tap
back
his
to the
band and
main
buy a
door.
bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Go
I'm
sit in the
changing your
arcade.
PIN number.
Yeah.
It's funny. They actually don't know their PIN numbers, and that's on purpose, so they
Oh, I
can't
bet.
buy
Yeah.
things.
Well, see, we started like, and I know every other like hotel puts a hold on your card. Like that's normal. But Disney, the way they do it now, I think it was like maybe last spring, they changed the way they do the holds. So like they'll put $100 hold on your card
Mhm.
for whatever, you know, is cards linked to your room. And then like once you spend 100, they put another $100 hold or something like that.
It's something like that, yeah.
And it ends up like I had like $300 just on hold. I'm like, well, that's not cool. I,
Yeah.
I want to spend that.
Yeah, I didn't really like that because normally I don't. I'll pay for everything with cash or I have other ways of paying for I don't use my band, and then once I realized that, like, that money that was on hold, I might as well just use my band because it's kind of already been spent and I'm not gonna get it back for a couple days anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So I started using my band, but I'll watch and make sure I don't go above the 100 so I don't pull another 100 bucks
Well,
out.
and my thing is like, I already have to pull my wallet out for my AP card
Uh-huh.
for
Right.
discounts.
Yeah,
So I'm like,
exactly.
well, I might as well just use because I use my Disney Visa at Disney
Right.
because it's
Earn
like,
more points.
right. I use my Disney Visa for everything. Like I pay bills, uh, groceries, dog food, gas, and then I just turn around and pay it and it gets those points.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, unless is your Disney Visa connected to your Magic Band, then it would still work, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
technically. But like if I already have to pull like my Disney Visa, I keep it with my AP card.
right.
Like I have like a deck of Disney cards. Like all these are Disney cards.
Pick a card, any card.
Like Disney Rewards card, AP card, Addie's AP card, Tables in Wonderland, Disney Visa.
I need to get the tables in Wonderland. I'm gonna get it next trip for sure.
It's worth it, especially with you guys typically going and, you know, catching a dinner on a whim or something at like a table service.
Thanks, Mike
Um,
Wheeler.
and you know your AP discounts aren't good on drinks where your
Tables in
Tables in Wonder
Wonderland is.
right, and
Now,
you can use Tables in Wonderland at your resort food court.
and isn't it also on counter service too?
Some counter service,
But
not
annual
all.
pass isn't on any counter service.
I don't think so. If
Not
it
any
is,
of
it's like it'll be like a special. But like for instance, like technically your resort's food court's considered quick service, but you can use your tables card there,
right.
which is
And
awesome.
but tables 20% and AP is 10, right?
Well, AP varies because they change it up, but tables is typically 20%. And if it's a table service, like say you're eating at Via Napoli, you use your Tables in Wonderland card. So it's going to save you 20%, but it's going to automatically add 18% gratuity, which for me, I like
Yeah.
because in the parks, like, you know, if I'm trying to keep up with my budget for what I'm spending in the parks, I don't want to have to try to remember what I tipped that morning at the plaza.
Right.
Like it just go ahead and it adds it in. And then so when you look at your bank statement, it's just there, the total, not just
Right.
because you know how in pending it might be like,
Pending, and
right,
then it adds on the other charge once it goes through.
exactly. And you know, for $150, I feel like you at least make that back.
Yeah.
I know I certainly have as much as I've gone this year.
Yeah. I
Uh,
think with like the next 6 months of trips that I have planned, it would definitely, at the very least, pay for
well,
itself.
and you guys, you know, with it being four of you, so like if you're paying, then you know you get that off of the total. Like so, like for instance, when I go with my family and it's my mom, like this next
That's the
trip,
trip.
I
Yeah.
will pay for the dinner, and then everybody will just pay me
Right.
because it has to be whoever
It's
is the card holder, like
right.
whoever's name is on it. That's who has to pay.
Right. But you only need one.
Right. And it's
That's why
150 with either. Well, you can get it without being an AP, but if you're not in state, the only way you can get Tables in Wonderland is being an annual pass holder or DVC. If you're in state, you can get it just because you're a resident.
right. Yeah. I've been holding off on pulling that trigger. I don't know why, but
Yeah, Lynn, gun shy Lynn, like DVC, Tables of Wonderland. Are you sure you're an annual pass holder?
I'm sure. I'm really sure. Trust me.
Are you guys going to a Christmas party on the trip in the fall?
I'm. I haven't figured that out yet. I really, really, really want to, but I think I might do like just me and Luke go to the Christmas party because I don't really feel like Sean and Christian really aren't that
Yeah,
super into it, and I know that like Luke would enjoy it and appreciate it more if like the two of us went. So I'm on the fence. I think it's the only time there's a Christmas party when we're there is on that Sunday night. So I'm still figuring that out.
yeah. I think
My
we're gonna go on our arrival day,
nice.
just
So
because it's early in the week.
you get there on a Thursday or
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, and so we get there on the 19th, and there's one that night, and I was kind of debating like, there's two while we're there. We leave Sunday, and I was like, well, earlier in the week's typically cheaper, and then we save like $5 or something. Like it's the savings is like almost laughable that they give you for being DVC. Like it's literally
Five
like
dollars.
$5 off your ticket.
It's
Like thanks.
$5.
That doesn't even buy me a premium bar.
Not even.
Um,
It's $5 for being a pass holder and then $5 for buying ahead of time. So you can save $10 on your ticket.
basically. And so I think that's the one we're going to try to shoot for. And I really, because last year my experience with it. Like I hardly remember it because it was
Busy.
it was so busy, like brutally busy. Like I think we
Yeah.
got like one cookie in the cookie walk. Like it was
That's the saddest thing I've heard today.
it was sad. It was and like to the point like where Britt's like, "Are you sure we want to go?" And Britt's like she's talking about putting the
Christmas
Christmas
night.
tree up right now.
Yeah, I'm ready to.
And
Pluto's
so
the Christmas merch is out.
I did. I saw that, and it looks amazing. Some of it, like it's like did you see the popcorn bucket? That's like the Christmas tree that lights up.
No.
Yeah, it's awesome.
No.
Yeah, you gotta check it out. But so we planned this trip earlier because last year we went in December. This year we're going November, the week before Thanksgiving. So I'm hoping to beat all the crowds, and there won't be.
Hi, Joe. To slay for me. He said he'll be at the Christmas party on the first night. That'll be busy, Joe.
Let's see.
I think Touring Plans does a crowd calendar for the parties too.
Well, now with Disney doing that new pass, I'm sure they'll do it again for Christmas parties. I feel like that completely changes it up.
Yeah. Yeah, right,
Christmas
Jeff.
tree.
Christmas tree bucket. I want to see. I need it. I
I'm
already know I
Googling
need
it. I saw it when they announced it.
We have the Santa Alien popcorn bucket, which is super cute.
I'm bitter about that one.
Why?
My mom bought it and gave it away when she got home. Because I was like, when I was putting together like my little vlogging spot here, I was like, oh, that's cool. I'll stick it up there. And I was like, hey, Mom, do you still have that popcorn bucket? Like, I know you probably just have it like sitting around. She's like, no, we gave it away as a Dirty Santa gift. I'm like, what?
Dirty Santa gift. No.
Yeah, I was not thrilled.
We have the Pluto one too with the little Christmas sweater on them. Oh, it's cute.
This one is probably the coolest one I've ever seen. Here it is. You guys ready for this? It's pretty awesome. I guess they had this somewhere else. It's rumored. So it's rumored that it'll probably be at ours. I know they're going to have the alien again, but he's going to have like a Christmas sweater. Sweet. We'll have to run into each other. And I need to get you a button, Meredith. I'm Googling.
A drum roll for this?
I'm okay. So here is the alien.
Here, let me. How do I present you? I don't know how to do this.
It should be like a little button down on the bottom.
Whoop.
Other way.
Whoop. 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 I don't know how to do it. Oh my God.
So that's the alien.
So cute.
And then hang on. This one. I'm hoping that this is true and it's really going to be there because it lights up.
I don't know how to do this. Oh my God, that's so cute. It's like the nostalgic ceramic
yes,
Christmas trees that they have with the little light bulbs all around it. I love that. That is so cool.
You know what? I just saw this on here, and we have to talk about the hot topic of fuel rods.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm indifferent. I've never used a fuel rod. Well, we kind of talked about this before. I've been using my Amazon 4-charge slim charger recharge station, and I've been using it since day one, since our first Disney trip. So we've had it for a year and a half. Holds a charge, charges. It's like super fast charging, and it can charge my whole family's phones on one charge.
Yeah. So, and I'm the same way. I have an Anchor brick that I use, but I also, because I didn't have it with me one day, and I bought a fuel rod.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a fuel rod's $30, and you comes in like a little capsule, dispenses, and it's got all the attachments that you could possibly need. It's got a lightning attachment, it's got a USB-C attachment, and then whatever it is that Android uses. but it's got all the attachments and they're rechargeable, and you just put them in and they would spit you another one out for no cost.
Right.
Well, now they've changed it. Universal did this a few weeks back or a few months ago, something like that. And now it's $3 to replace it,
Swap it
to
out.
exchange it. And I
Starting in
think,
November. Starting
right,
mid-November.
11
Yeah.
1.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's going to be the death of the fuel rod. I mean, you'll still have some people getting them in the parks because they're like, oh, I didn't, I've never been before and I didn't know that my phone would die. And so they'll get them, but the exchange cost is, I mean, really, at the end of the day, it's not a terrible price for a rechargeable, small, like it's very convenient at its size.
I think it's a great emergency option.
For sure. And that's why I bought it.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you how many times I've used it and exchanged it now because it's convenient. I mean, it's right there in all the resorts. It's throughout the parks.
Yep.
And
it's literally everywhere on property.
right. And they're in airports. They're all over the place. And now I'm kind of like, what do you do now when you go and you exchange a fuel rod and you get one and it doesn't work? Because that happens sometimes. You get one that's still dead, or you get one that just doesn't work anymore.
You have to send an email.
And so, you've paid. Now it's only $3, but still, like, that would frustrate people, especially on vacation. And I'm surprised that, Disney, I'm sure they had sway over the decision. I'm surprised that they went with it.
I read somewhere that Disney had nothing to do with it, that it was fuel rod, but I mean, who really knows what the actual story is? Jeff is asking what a battery brick is.
Yeah, so
who knows that a battery brick? That's what I think all of us pretty much use.
That's well, Anchor makes one that's kind of like, I don't have the actual brick, but like, for instance, Resort TV One, some of the bigger streamers, they'll have them. Corey uses them, and Anchor makes one, and it looks like a little brick. It's like that big, maybe. We're on a screen, so everybody, like, it's as big as a battery brick. If somebody was like, "Oh, so it's like the size of a pager?" No, it's like the size of a king size Kit Kat.
Like when you have a laptop charger, that like middle piece, right?
Yeah, it's a little bit bigger than that, I think.
Yeah.
But
about that size.
Yeah, it's about the size of a phone. It's a little bit thicker.
A little thicker.
And no, Anchor is the brand that I use. Anker, and I think that's the brand that like Corey uses. Corey Meets World, yeah. And
it's a really popular brand with like even non-streamer like business people that need all the charging needs.
Like the one I've had for years.
Yeah.
And it works fine. And typically they have Jeff, it's hard to say. I think it might be around like maybe $40, depending. You know how Amazon is. It's like you roll the dice and the price changes.
Yeah.
I mean, you could check it 3 days in a row and it's going to be like one day it's 174, the next day it's 24, and then the next day it's like used for $7.06.
That's funny. King size Kit Kat. I know exactly what size that is. Yeah, I think with the fuel rod thing, it was coming. I could have told you a year ago, like, it's not going to be free forever. There's no way. They're definitely losing money, and somebody's going to be like, "What are we doing? We can make more money."
Well, and it's like, it's the same thing that happened with Movie Pass when Movie Pass was big. I don't know if you ever did that, but I jumped on that boat when it was a steal, and then when they started changing, I canceled it. But no, we haven't talked about Verizon customers getting Disney Plus for a year yet.
I heard about that. It was like the first time in a long time I wished I was Verizon.
Yeah, I already signed up for it, so I'm like,
yeah,
they should have announced that earlier.
Yeah. T-Mobile gets Netflix, so
Sprint gets Hulu.
All these little partnerships.
Yeah, which, like, I got on there on Disney Plus's website the other day. I saw something that popped up, and when everybody was jumping on, like, oh, buying it for a year, I'm like, I mean, that's a good deal, but
That's a
I'm
good
not
point.
I'm not gonna spend like a a chunk of money right now to have it for 3 years at a cheaper rate, because then like what if it really sucks when it comes out? Now it's Disney. I don't expect it to whatsoever. I'm not
Right.
saying that, but I'm like, I don't do that with anything. Like Netflix, I'm not going to pay an annual price when I can pay month by month. Um, I just don't. That's just not something that I do, and that's mainly because I'm self-employed. And you never know what you got to change around to,
Right.
because there's always something that comes out that's new. Like my invoicing software changes. Anyways, um, so I got on there, and you could get in the founder circle and pay month by month now. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm sold.
What's a founder's circle? Like being the first one to sign up before it opens
Right.
or is
I
released?
don't know what the perk is other than like the people that signed up at D23 got a pin. So
Right.
I don't know if the founder circle, they're just going to keep your price locked in when they make price changes like Netflix used to do when, they changed. But, and I also expect Netflix to drop in price. I mean, they're going to
Hey,
have
more
to.
sunshine, please. I didn't see you guys come in. This is, sorry to interrupt you, Josh. There's a solar powered brick. What? What is this? Never heard of that. I mean, in Florida, that would be kind of ideal, right? Just have to like strap it on the side of your backpack.
Yes, Jeff. I signed up Founder Circle month to month. I got on there and it said join Founder Circle, $6.99 a month, and I put my information in, and I got an email that on November 12th, I'd be able to stream. So
That's
I'll
cool.
see if I can find the email.
I need to do that. I haven't even looked into my Disney Plus signing up stuff yet.
Disney. I always type in Disney Plus and always don't add the plus sign, and then it can't find it.
That's funny.
But yeah, so yeah, $6.99 I think it was, and it's a lot cheaper than Netflix.
I have a solar powered one. You put the little flaps open. That's cute.
So you walk around looking like R2D2 with his little.
It's a little Wally device on it.
That's what you do. You go and you build a droid.
It's Wally.
You build a droid and you put your solar powered thing on it, and he just drives around collecting sunshine. And then you pick it up and you plug it in.
There you go. Good to go.
I saw. Do you remember? I don't know how big of a Star Wars fan you are. I'm sure your kids are bigger Star Wars fans than you probably.
Just a hubby.
Okay, so they came out with these little like robots when, like they were like a little remote control BB-8, and they were like $150 when they came out, and now they have one for the new little droid that's coming out for the new Star Wars. Dio, I think is his name.
They had a bunch of the little BB-8 and R2D2 things at Character Warehouse. I don't know. They like made sounds.
I have a thought.
Moves.
I'm wondering if that's how Jim came up with the name of his channel. Is his phone died and he needed to charge it, and he was like,
"More sunshine, please.
More sunshine, please," because it was a cloudy day. Did I get it?
Yeah,
Did I hit it on the head?
I think you nailed it. But you have to say it like "more sunshine, please."
Yeah, you got to be kind of sarcastic with it. More sunshine, please.
Have
a little eye roll with
it. That's great. I'm never gonna read your name the same again, Jim.
More sunshine, please.
That's great. Oh boy.
Where is this Disney Plus email? Maybe I deleted it. Shame on me.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna get some more coffee real super fast.
So, yes, Disney Plus looks to be quite exhilarating. They keep announcing more and more things for it. And I would like to know from you guys, what is it you're looking forward to the most in Disney Plus? Because for me, it's probably The Mandalorian, and some of these classic like gargoyles from the 90s. And like, we're not even buying Disney movies anymore. My daughter was like, let's buy the new Lion King. And I'm like, it'll be on Disney Plus. So I have to know, what are you guys looking forward to in Disney Plus? What are you looking forward to in Disney Plus?
I mean, I've briefly gone over the list, which is extremely extensive, and there's a lot that I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to a lot of the nostalgic shows that I watched as a kid, and seeing those again that I haven't seen in 20 years,
Yeah,
and
that's me too.
stuff I don't even remember it because it just blended in with everything else that I watched. And yeah, exactly like Joe said, just like for me, just the idea of 24-hour access to Disney content other than our already YouTube realm of
Yeah. And that's something I'm wondering about. Like, what's the effect it's going to have on some of the big streamers that everybody watches? Like, I'm sure it'll nose down there for a little bit, and then everybody's going to watch the streams in the parks. But I wish they would add like the parks loop. That would be cool.
Disney Plus may ruin my marriage.
But it could help.
It could enhance it too.
Yeah. Speaking of the Muppets, I saw a commercial yesterday that had the Muppets. They were talking about
Bye, Mike. Have a great day. Thank you for hanging out.
farewell. It was the Muppets talking about that new camera that Facebook's putting out, and I was like, it's the Muppets on a commercial.
That's great.
I always like to see the Muppets get some love.
I agree. I was just going to say that I think the Muppets don't get enough love. Like,
They don't.
we grew up with that. That was our generation. Like, I watched the Muppets all the time. All the time. And yeah, they kind of get lost in the mix that don't get enough love.
Yep. Welcome to Disney Plus. It was $6.99 plus tax. Start streaming on November 12th. It's taking me this long to find the email.
Jeff says Disney YouTuber talk show on Disney Plus. Bob Iger, are you listening? I'll host.
Yeah. I'm excited for the cast member show as well. And, some of my cast member friends, they're very excited for that too, because they feel like a lot of cast members don't get any light shine on them for what they do.
What's that going to be about?
So it's about like several different cast members and kind of like a day in the life, sort of, from what I know or from what I've seen. And there's a book that's coming. Yeah. And there's a book that's coming out with it. It looks great. And
That's really cool.
Cast members, like, some of them really put in some work to make things happen. Love. Well, and if I don't know if you've ever seen any of the Freeform specials, like Decorating Disney, the Halloween or the Christmas one. I like the Christmas one the best, but it really gives you some perspective into like what they do overnight to make Christmas in Disney. You can find Decorating Disney on I think it's on Hulu and the Freeform. Like, if you go on Freeform on the app or stream it or whatever, you probably can even look it up on YouTube. I think I found it on YouTube before. It's definitely really worth watching. It's about an hour long. I think the Christmas one's a couple years old. It's super cool because it gives you perspective into just what they do overnight. And like it's not just lights and putting up Christmas trees. It's transporting stuff across Florida. It's like changing out all the plants. Like, it's crazy.
That's crazy. That's
and
cool.
Most of it's done overnight.
Scenes. That's insane.
Yeah, Whoopi. So Britt makes fun of me and says that I have like a thing for Whoopi Goldberg because, like, last year I watched it so many times. I can't even tell you how many times I watched it. I watched it like at night. I would watch it. It would be over, and I'd start it over again.
Fall asleep to the sweet sounds of Whoopi.
Yeah. Well, no. No. I'm surprised she's not on the side of one of those Disney buses.
Oh, I need to see this. I want to see it now.
Yeah, no, there's two. You can watch the Halloween one and get in the spirit. They talk about how in Disneyland they change over Haunted Mansion from classic Haunted Mansion to like the Christmassy Nightmare Before Christmas version.
That's cool.
They talk about how they build the gingerbread house in the Grand Floridian. All
Oh,
that kind
that's
of
really
stuff.
cool. I've seen different progression videos on that.
Oh, see, you got to watch it. I think they're on YouTube. I'm pretty sure
I'll check it out after, see what I can find.
they're worth watching. The Sweet Sounds of Whoopi. Yeah.
I gotta make up for it. Britt's not here. I gotta represent my girl.
Come on, guys.
I'm sorry. Gotta make Britt proud. Well, on the topic of Britt, how is she doing? Share with everybody.
Yeah, she's good.
We miss her today.
Yeah, she's you know, it's a bunch of emails just popped up. She's good. She's just, it's still early in her pregnancy, so trying to navigate the different things. It's different from Addie, so navigate the different things that makes her feel nauseous or sick or whatever, but she hasn't been home all week because she's been dog sitting, so just being home now and
resting and she's tired and
it's like every day she's like, I'm just constantly nauseous. So
and those ladies that don't have to experience that, they're very, very blessed, because I was also sick for most of both of my pregnancies as well, and it's no fun.
Is Jeff still here?
Jeff, I think so.
Okay, so Jeff, I've been sitting here trying to figure this out for you while I've been chatting. And if you go to disneyplus.com and click the sign up monthly, it's still Founder Circle. I don't know if you can see that, but it still says Founder Circle, be among the first to join. And then you get a 7-day free trial, and then it's $6.99 a month. So you can still get in Founder Circle.
You just go to Disney Plus and then search Founder Circle?
Yeah, disneyplus.com. So I'll type it in the chat. Nice. You don't even have to search. It's just you just click $6.99 a month there on the main screen. So you go to the homepage, and I know you guys can't really see this, but one of these is $6.99 a month, and then it says, oh, and it would help if I could spell Disney Plus right. Sorry, guys.
Disney.
I don't want to confuse anybody, because somebody in the chat might not know how to spell Disney, and they'd be like, what is this?
Disney. This is a new thing. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate you putting that in there.
But so she's just existing now.
She's creating life.
Yeah, and she's fine.
And Addie made her big debut in your latest vlog drop.
She did.
Awesome.
Yes, she did. And she loves vlogging and being on the camera. And she's asked us a million times, like when she could vlog, and she's wanted to start her own channel and all that. So I'm like, I wanted her to kind of have like a little debut, and just like, she doesn't need to start her own channel, first of all, because the internet's a scary place for kids.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, well, once you come to the park, like, it's nice. It's almost comedy relief, because watching her face when she explains something, guys, I'm about to ride Tower of Terror.
It's so cute. I love it.
And when she did that, like, I love Addie to death, but I'm also the dad that's like I don't pick on my kid, but like, I laugh at her. And when she said that, all I could think about was Kevin from The Office. And Britt's like, you're so mean.
I totally pick on my kids, and I'll admit it to anybody. You have to. They pick on me, I'm gonna pick on them back.
Yeah, so
she was so great. I really enjoyed seeing her, and like the excitement through her eyes, and just all of it.
She loved it.
I loved it.
And it, I didn't add in because it was in my stories. I should have.
Bye, Jen. Thanks for hanging out. Have a great day.
See you, Jim. I should have mentioned it or put it in there, but like when we got there, like I was driving, of course, so I couldn't like film her when I woke her up. But I'm sure you saw it on our stories when I was
Uh-huh.
like, Addie, where are you at? She's like, I'm at Disney. Like she was so confused
Yeah.
still and so half asleep.
Right.
I mean, anybody who just rode in the car for 10 11 hours and then
Right.
next thing they're walking into Hollywood Studios at 6 a.m. Probably like in a haze, like, what? Am I really here?
Right.
But yeah,
That's
she had a
funny.
blast, even though it was short. There was some things she wanted to ride that she didn't get to ride, but we
You
knew
guys
that
still
was going to
did
be the case.
so much. You went to all 4 parks, right?
Yeah, all 4 parks in our basically day and a half trip.
Yeah. You guys did so much.
Um, like she wanted to ride Space Mountain, and we didn't get to ride that.
Hey, Disney Dan.
Disney Dan, hello, chat.
Hello. How's the rugby going over there? But
She loved it, and the first thing we rode was Rock and Roller Coaster, as you saw in our vlog.
yeah,
Which the story behind that, and I mentioned it in our vlog, but for those
I
of you who
missed
don't
it.
know, we rode that in December, and we went at rope drop, and nobody was on it, and they let her ride it, and she rode it and loved it, and then we had a fast pass later on, and we went to go
Yeah.
ride it, and the cast member was like, "Hey, can you come? Let me see how tall you are," and she was just like a fraction of an inch too short, and they wouldn't let her ride it, and she was so upset, so mad. And I was a little frustrated with the cast member because they could have, made a little bit more magic for her
Well,
or made
she
her
was
feel
already on
better.
it.
Right. And I was like, like that's the rules. I understand. But
Hey, dances.
it would have been cool if they would have given her like a little certificate that said next time you come, you can ride it again, or, a fast pass for something else.
Right.
But instead, she just walked off from the entrance to Rock and Roller Coaster, sad. And so I was a
That's
little
sad.
frustrated, but she loved it riding it this time. So
Yeah.
she loved it.
What was it she said? She cracked me up. She's like, yeah, but I was a little scared. I don't remember. What was it? She didn't remember going upside down.
Yeah, I didn't remember it going upside down, and that freaked me out.
Yeah, that
Or
freaked me
something
out.
like,
And she said that on Tower of Terror too when she got off of it. She's like, it was really fun, but it kind of freaked me out.
which is hilarious because she loves those rides. She loves them, but like, we rode Everest, and I
Oh,
think
her
I posted.
face.
Yeah.
Her
So one of the
face was
features
so funny.
of the new iPhone, and I wanted to try it out, was you can do like a slow motion selfie, and I was like, well, that would be perfect. And they're watching it back, and her face, it looks like someone just punched her in the stomach. She's like, oh, somebody's gonna screenshot that.
Both of us just doing that.
And I was cracking up, like riding it. She sounds like she's like losing her life over there beside me. And then we get off, she's like, that was amazing. I'm like, but you just like, are you sure?
That's so great.
Yeah,
Yeah, that little
she loved
video
it.
cracked me up.
I'm excited. I'm excited for her on this next trip. Kate's coming, which Kate's like one of her favorite people in the world. So Kate, and then my mom will be there. And then so my cast member friend Alan, he's gonna hang out with us more, but he hung out with us a little bit on that trip, and she loved Alan and ended up like requesting to ride Splash Mountain with Alan.
That's awesome.
Matter of fact, I'll probably post that picture today because like I sat by myself. She rode with Alan. But it's so cool. The more you go to Disney, for me, like the friends that I've made through vlogging, but just from going to the parks often, like and just in cast members that recognize you and or that you meet from a cool experience. It's Disney's such a cool place for that.
Yeah. Well, I think it changes a lot too from being a person that goes once a year or every couple years to being a person that goes every month or every other month.
Yeah.
And I've adapted how I experience Disney slowly. It evolves each time I go. And
I think that's exactly right. That's a good way to
I
put it.
like it. Yeah. Like it depends on the day. Like we don't focus. I'm trying not to focus so much on like, okay, we're gonna go on all your favorite rides because the kids are bored with it. They're like, we've already done that. They don't want to go anymore because they're doing the same thing every time. And so I'm trying to go and eat at new places and show them different experiences they haven't even seen. And as much as we love all those rides, Everest and Flight of Passage and Rock and Roller Coaster and all that, I want them to experience something else. And we kind of slow down, excuse me, slow down a little bit and try the different things, or not rush from fast pass to fast pass, or um, just take a different viewpoint on it.
Well, yeah, and you can like sit and just enjoy the ambience of the park. I mean,
Hmm.
that's one of Britt's favorite things to do is to just sit in the park and people watch and hang out. Um,
Good night, or good night.
good
Good,
night.
good day, Blue Nose.
Yeah, go to bed.
Have a
Go to
great
your
day, Blue
bed,
Nose.
Blue Nose.
Thanks for hanging out.
Um,
Um,
yeah, and so like for us, like you're right, it's not so much like now when I go, it's like if I miss a fast pass, it's like whatever. Like
right.
it doesn't break my heart. Now it would probably if it was something that I really wanted to ride or
Flight of
like
Passage.
Flight of Passage, but even Flight of Passage, like like I do like enjoy that ride, but it's not like if I don't get that fast pass, I'm not crushed.
Right.
Which people don't realize how often those fast passes still pop up.
You just have to hammer at the app the right way and know how to work it.
Right. And know what times to be on there and look.
Right.
Um, so it's I'm going to the lobby. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I'm changing
But
your pin.
but you're exactly right. Like one of my favorite things to do in Disney, and it's almost like a must do if I'm there, is I go to Animal Kingdom for extra magic hours in the morning and I grab a coffee as soon as they open and I just walk in Animal Kingdom, or there's a spot that's back on the backside in Asia by Mr. Kamal's fry stand.
Uh-huh.
And there's like a little seating area back there. And it's right up against the Tree of Life. There's like a little, you know,
Oh, yes, I
pond or
know.
whatever.
On the water.
Yeah.
I
And I'll
love
go
that
back there
spot.
and I'll sit. And usually I might do a live stream, on Instagram or something, or I'll just
Hmm.
sit there and take a time lapse and just drink my coffee. And I usually, if Britt's not there, I'll FaceTime her or like I just hang out. I've mentioned it a few times in my vlogs, I think.
Yeah,
Um,
that's an awesome spot. I enjoy it a lot.
it's
It's right.
peaceful because
It
nobody
is.
goes back there because
Yep.
everybody goes to Pandora or to Everest. And like Animal Kingdom is one of the few parks. It's probably, I mean, I love all the parks, but Animal Kingdom is my favorite park to just stroll.
It's
And
relaxing, and like you're surrounded by nature and animals.
it is, and I think it's probably because it's the newest park. Like the Imagineering is top tier. Like Joe Rody did an amazing job. Everything is
Yeah.
so detailed. Whereas Magic Kingdom is detailed as well, but man, I sound so like just I keep slurring my words, and it's just making me sound like I'm more and more from Tennessee.
Well, you are. It's
Uh,
okay.
and so like Magic Kingdom, like it's nostalgic in its own way, and Main Street USA, but like in Tomorrowland, like it's got its own vibes about it, but it seems like it's always kind of crowded.
Yeah.
um and there's so much to do there, whereas Animal Kingdom, there's a lot to look at,
Yeah.
and it's not drastic changes in themes. um Hollywood Studios, a lot of people like Hollywood Studios. It's not big enough for me to stroll, I feel like. I know
Well,
that sounds completely weird.
there's no like,
There's a lot of backtracking.
yes, and there's no like grassy or like shady areas really, unless you're by a counter service under an umbrella.
Yeah, or now back in Batu,
Well, right.
but like there's no places where you can really seclude yourself and feel
No,
like it's just you in the park. Where in Animal
absolutely.
Kingdom, I think that's probably the best way to put it is Animal Kingdom, it's easy to seclude yourself there during extra magic hours where it's so peaceful and you feel like there's very few people in the park.
Yeah.
Whereas the other parks, it's not quite so simple. Now in Epcot, you can when you go back to Lake Hall,
Yeah.
but it's even still, it's not as there's not as much escapism.
Right.
Sounds like super Disney nerdy talking about this, but the only time I've ever experienced that in Magic Kingdom was during after hours.
Right.
Before they did Villains, because see, Villains after hours isn't even after hours anymore. It's more like a Halloween party.
Yeah.
I liked the original after hours. That was really cool.
Yeah, we
Like,
only did after hours at Hollywood Studios for May the 4th Be With You Day, which
yeah,
was really cool.
like I loved the first time we did it. We were bummed. It was actually last December, and it was just me and Britt. Addie stayed with my mom, and it had rained like through Happily Ever After and stuff. And so obviously people left because they didn't want to get rained on. And then the ones that stayed for Happily Ever After left because they had already gotten rained on. And we decided to, right before Happily Ever After, go to our room, change, get ready for after hours, and then come back and watch fireworks. And then the park was dead empty, like for after hours. Like we're
That's the
walking back
coolest
there.
feeling.
Well, we're back there like in Liberty Square by Haunted Mansion, and it's just us and the cast member that's shoveling popcorn. And I'm like, well, this is almost eerie feeling.
Yeah, that's really cool though.
It's those parts of the park when you experience it like that. It's really special. And
Yeah.
that's going all the way back full circle. That was a lot to say that I really love Animal Kingdom in the morning. Ooh, I have a fun story that goes with what Jeff just said. See, when you have the YouTube pop-out chat, it goes quicker than the chat here.
Yeah, I can't pop it up on the screen. It's not on my StreamYard yet.
Oh, there it is. So Jeff, I went, and it was another situation. I was at Animal Kingdom early, and my first stop is to get coffee, and I got a double shot.
I remember this one.
Yeah, I got a double shot, and I thought I was slick. I was like, you know what? I don't even give me the regular lid. Like I want like the cold brew lid, so I don't have to have the stupid paper straw. I was like, man, I'm on it. And then like we left there and went to Everest, and we're in the queue for Everest, and I realized I can't take this on Everest. And it's like it's a venti, like it's big and it's a double shot. It's loaded with caffeine. So I just slam it and then ride Everest, and I get off Everest and I feel like my eyes twitching. Like, because if you've rode Everest, like all those G's that hit you right after you go backwards, and then it decides to throw you forward.
Around.
Yeah, and like it pushes you down in your seat. Mm-hmm. You like how I pushed myself down on my seat when I said that? And I got off, and that caffeine. Oh man, I was feeling rough when I got off there.
So you just turned your double shot into a quad.
Basically, I was, and it wasn't so much the drink. It was drinking it so fast, and it was cold. So it wasn't like I could really drink it like a hot drink. I can't just down that.
Copy.
Exactly.
It's like a new rap song. Coffee and G's.
But that was the craziest. And then the second craziest time is I went to brunch at Homecoming, and like shoveled food. Like I was so grotesquely full when I left there. And then I go to Animal Kingdom, and a friend of mine is there. I went to Animal Kingdom to get my Simba magnet, and a friend of mine was there, and he's like, "Hey, we're about to go ride Everest. Why don't you come hop on with us?" And I was like, "Okay, cool." So I go ride Everest, stuffed full of food. I didn't get sick, but I thought I was going to get sick.
Yeah.
So don't ever do that. I said all that to say, don't do that.
Don't do those things.
But yes, that is very peaceful to sit outside Yak and Yeti, drink coffee. It's super awesome to just.
I feel like there's a lot of places like that. There's like a lot of side paths to get to the same place in Animal Kingdom, and like I don't know if you've ever been to the restrooms that are outside of Finding Nemo.
Yeah,
No one's ever in those. They're empty unless it's right after a show gets out.
right.
And even sitting outside that area, still really calm and nice. And there's a couple spots in Dino Land too, even that are just like quiet. You can just sit there and kind of not
Yeah.
be around too many people. I think the foliage there has a lot to do with it too. Whereas like in other parks, there's not
Bye,
as
Joe.
Bye, Joe. Thanks for hanging out. New vlog idea: double shot Expedition Everest instant ride review as soon as we exit the ride for my non-coffee drinking daughter. Let's go.
I say we just live stream it.
Yeah,
Um,
I do quad shots, so that's my Starbucks drink. I drink quad ventis with extra soy, French vanilla. That's
see,
I drink in fours.
like I usually like I have so much stuff going on. A lot of days, like I'll stop and I'll grab a coffee, and I haven't eaten anything. And that was the problem that morning is I'll drink something like that, haven't eaten anything, and then I've got like the coffee shakes.
Well, I think the biggest part of drinking coffee for me is how fast you drink it. So if you're like sipping it over the course of an hour is different than like
Right.
chugging it because it's like all at once. And that is the big difference. Yes, Jeff, I run on quad shots. That is how I drink my espresso. So,
Mm.
gotta keep going.
So the new challenge is chug a quad shot.
I'll do that. I volunteer myself. I'll do it for sure.
Or two nitro cold brews.
Do that too.
You know, nitro cold brews, they won't even let you get that in a venti because it's too much caffeine. They legally can't give you that in a venti.
What?
Yeah.
So,
They legally aren't allowed to. And so I had a barista explain it to me. And I guess because of how nitro cold brew is made, the caffeine hits quicker than like your standard coffee or espresso shot.
I'm so in for this.
And so typically I'll order two grandes.
I've never had that, and now I want
You like
to.
how I explain it like in Starbucks sizes? You can tell I drink a lot of Starbucks. Like I don't say large, I say venti,
Grande.
grande.
Venti.
Yeah.
Yeah. Grande medium, tall, small, right? I only order
Yes.
ventis,
Yes.
so I don't even know.
Yeah. And in Disney, you always forget, but you know, everybody always thinks venti because you order your coffees in a venti. But when I go to Disney and I go to Starbucks and I get a coffee, I always get an ice water. And Starbucks has Trenta sizes, guys. So get your ice water
Trenta.
in
Yep.
Trenta
Yep.
because Starbucks, like I forget how they word it, but they triple something in their water. So it's like that's the best Disney water you can get as far as drinking water. It doesn't have a weird taste because Starbucks for their drinks they filter them triple filter triple. I
There's some
forget.
water talk for you, Jeff. Take notes. Starbucks has the best Disney water.
Well, it's because of their drinks. They don't want to alter the flavor of their.
Well, right. They have to have the best water for their best coffee.
So there you go.
The more you know.
The more you know, and it's free. Ice water at
Yep.
Starbucks is free. I usually get it and I pour it straight in my bottle because it's got
Yep.
ice in it already,
Yeah. That
and I
helps
don't got
you.
to deal with a paper straw.
Yes. Ugh, those
How
paper
many Starbucks
straws.
trip per week? We are 4 or 5, and it's so stupid of us.
Yeah.
I used to go every day, multiple times a day. I do not do that now because I go to Disney
Yeah.
and I brew my own coffee.
Yeah.
But if I go on a shoot, we always stop and get a Starbucks before.
I drink
Always.
more Starbucks at Disney. Like we make sure we go once a day at least at Disney, sometimes twice, but in real life I cut back because it was costing too much money. So I'll get it like 2 or 3 times a week.
And usually, you know, like with their new reward system that they have now, like I honestly just get coffees or a double shot. Like that's like Britt gets, you know, peppermint mochas and all that stuff. But
You want to hear
I'm
my
just
Disney
not.
hack or my Disney hack, my Starbucks hack? like the iced caramel macchiatos.
Yes.
So those are like $8 if I order the way that they do it. So you can do a quad ice espresso in a venti cup with, I get soy, so you could do like, I do extra soy, and then I do the sugar-free French vanilla, 6 pumps. And if you want to add the caramel, that costs, it's like half the price, and it's the same exact drink, just ordering it differently. So
Whoa.
that's I get when I get my quads. It's basically a caramel macchiato without the caramel, and they're $4, $3. No, four. I think they're four.
Yeah,
So
that's why I get a double shot because they're like $3 and something or something. I
yeah,
don't know. I don't know. See, they get you because you put it all in the app and then you just scan it and you forget how much you spent. I don't
yeah.
know. And
There's
then I use
hacks
my
to
points
doing
for
it.
drip coffee.
Yes. When I
But
use my points, I'll like splurge and be like, yeah, ice cream a macchiato, like a boss.
well, and I don't like at Disney. Like I like Joffrey's. Like I usually get a shaken Jamaican at Joffrey's, which I kind of feel like is the same thing, just about as a double shot. Or I tell myself that. I don't know if it is, but Britt doesn't like Joffrey's because she doesn't like their the syrups they use.
I
So
don't really like Joffrey's either.
I just I like coffee.
Yeah. The thing is, I like strong coffee. Like I don't like Dunkin' because it's too weak.
Right,
I want it to be like jet fuel. Like it's gonna come out. You can't see through my coffee. It's
right.
dark.
And
Um, I like
so
I get that at Starbucks.
I get judged too because I'll go to like I'll drink my coffee and we're at Disney, so you know drink my coffee, ride a couple rides, and then next thing I know I'm at Thirsty River getting a Kungaloosh, and it's like it's still morning time, and it's like yeah, but they're open.
It's totally fine. They're selling it. I can buy it.
I'm pretty sure there's been more than one occasion where I've gotten the first Kungaloosh of the day.
That's hashtag goals.
Well, it's the only place you can buy it.
You know what?
It's
When we're at
Disney.
Disney, we're on vacation. So enjoy yourself. If you want a kungaloosh at 11 a.m., have a kungaloosh.
Yeah, see, I mean, like in Japan, it's okay. It's
Yep.
still nightlife
Yeah.
at 10 a.m. in Florida.
Man, it's whatever makes you happy. Have fun. And sometimes the kungaloosh helps with the crowds too. So
It really does.
yeah.
It really does, especially when you haven't had anything to eat and just coffee. It really does.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally fine. I want to try more of the. I had a really good margarita. It was a frozen margarita in Animal Kingdom. It was like triple. No,
Oh, I
like
remember when you posted a picture of that. It was like
yeah,
multicolored.
yeah. And I'm like not that frozen margarita girl. Like I really don't. I kind of hate on frozen drinks, except when it's super hot in Disney, then they're refreshing.
Right.
That was so good. It was like not way too sweet, and it was pretty strong for being a frozen drink. It was good.
Well, and I think the way they do those is it's all pre-mixed and then they add a
Yeah,
floater on top.
yeah.
Um, Now I will say I think it's in Flame Tree Barbecue. They have like a Mandarin orange drink. I forget what it's called, but it's really good.
I
But I
think
think
I've heard of that.
um, I have a buddy who tries and usually succeeds in getting the day's first pickle of and Dole Whip of the day at Disneyland. He gets a button when he does and wears it proudly all day.
I got a pickle. I got a pickle. I got a pickle. Hey, hey,
Hey,
hey,
hey, hey, hey. Uh, um,
hey.
so at Woody's Lunchbox, they have the Grown Ups Lemonade, and that's probably my favorite counter service mixed drink in all of Disney for counter service.
Can't remember if I tried that one. I think I
It's
skipped it.
it's really good. It's like it's black cherry, I think it is, and it's kind of carbonated. Um, it's just so
Sounds
good.
good. I'll have to try it
It's
next time.
yeah, it's great. And if you're doing like quick service or like quick service dining plan, you might as well get it because it's included.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
but even still, like it's really good and it's so refreshing. Like I usually keep it and still like chew on the ice afterwards because it's so good. Which at Disney, now this is another weird hack that I do, and it's just I don't know why, but like ice, I feel like it's important at Disney
Mm-hmm.
for to help cool you down. So like if I have a water bottle, it's been like my water bottle's insulated, so it holds ice pretty well. I mean, it still melts in there because it's Florida and it's a gajillion degrees outside. But I'll take a water that I've drank, like that I got free from a counter service, and I'll pour the ice into my bottle, and I'll just keep adding the ice
Absolutely.
that I get from those, and then so that way, if I just go and get it filled at like a bottle station, like in Starlight Cafe,
Mm-hmm.
then it's cold again.
Yeah, I need ice cold water. Like I hate room temperature water. It just, I don't know. I don't like it needs to be ice cold. Ice cold. So I hear you on that.
It's just it's free ice. I mean, granted, I mean you can go up to any counter service and they give you ice, but
You probably have to wait in a line for it too.
yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I'm the type that if I see a line, I'm just like, I'm not stopping. I'll
Right.
keep walking.
Yeah.
And then what happens is I keep walking and I keep telling myself that, and then I realize like 2 hours later, I haven't had any water to drink. And at Disney, you probably should be consistently drinking water all day long.
Yeah.
And then I could start feeling that I haven't had any water to drink.
I think that that's something that we constantly struggle with, and I always try to keep doing it, and then it's like reminding him, like the kids, like drink water, drink water, drink water, and then you're like, oh, yep, I gotta drink water
And with
too.
you guys driving, you guys should just pick up like a flat of water on your way
I do,
there.
I do. I bring all that stuff with. I bring bottles of water and our
That's
pop
awesome.
and snacks and all that, so I have it all with us. I always do that.
That's
I would
great. See, we fly
never,
mostly.
I'd never buy a bottle of water at Disney ever. I never have, and I never will.
Oh, I'll never buy a bottle of water. There are places that like in not Top of the World, but in the Epcot DVC lounge, they've got like those Coke. I forget what they call like lifestyle. What are they called? The
The freestyle machines.
freestyle. Yeah, they've got those in there, and we'll get like seltzer water, and drink that. And like I know, like in Club 33, they give you bottle of water, which I think is kind of interesting. Disney gets Coke gives Disney all of their like bottle drinks. Like Disney doesn't pay for that, from what I've been told.
What? Straight
Yeah,
profit?
well, because Coke is such a investment for them to have their drink in
Brand.
the parks that all of those is just straight profit. Yeah, that's what I was told by
That's
somebody who I
crazy.
trust. I trust their opinion, or trust their facts. So,
That's crazy.
which makes sense. I know in more than one occasion where I've heard of Coke doing that and it not being, it's just purely a partnership.
Right.
Which Coke's so big that I mean,
Right. They can do that.
yeah, and Disney's so big that who knows?
I think
A
it's
big
probably good for
conglomerate
both
like
of
that.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's similar brands. I feel like Coke and Disney, they're both like Pepsi's kind of still too new to be considered like a American classic like Coke is.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so I don't know how we got on. See, this is what it is. It's coffee and contemplation where we get on here and ramble. Now we're talking about Coke. Like it's like baseball, Disney parks, and Coca-Cola and cheeseburgers. That's
Yep.
America.
Yep. Coffee. That's great. It's fun. Always a good time.
Yeah.
But
Amen.
preach. We are pulling up on an hour and a half, so I probably want to let people get to their weekends and not keep them
Yeah.
on here.
I've got a big wedding to go shoot
Oh yeah, you got to
today
work
and
tonight.
this dreary, rainy Saturday.
You
It's
got my
okay.
vote for sure, Josh.
It's I love days like this, but not to go shoot a wedding that was supposed to be outdoors. Now it's moved indoors because it
Oh,
ends up being
stressful.
stressful.
Yeah,
And it's a lot of people that's supposed to be there, which hopefully because it's this kind of weather, it will trim it down. But it's just a big time suck on a Saturday.
time suck.
So hopefully it goes quick, but that's how I go to Disney. So
Yeah, it'll be great. It'll be good. You know, just
got
think
my vote.
about.
Got my vote for now. What do you mean, Jeff? Jeff said I have his vote.
For
Triple P
sure.
for president. I'll make a button. We'll have buttons.
As long as you have a button, it's official.
Exactly. Well, it has been fun as always, and next week,
Be
as
on your
long as
channel.
everything's good, yeah, we'll be on my
Yeah,
channel.
I'm
Um,
good for next week. Finally, I have nothing else for a Saturday for the first time in like a month.
that's
So
awesome.
I
Enjoy
will
it.
I will be able to get up at a normal time, get ready, and just live stream. So I'm looking forward to that. No prior commitments.
So next week at 10:11 Eastern or 11:10 Central,
10 Central,
11
11
Eastern.
Eastern.
So
So yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. I really appreciate it. Let's see, what do you have coming up, Josh? We'll do a quick.
I need to do a haul vlog from our last little mini trip, but
Yeah.
other than that, who knows? I need to put some more vlogs up. So
Yeah,
just
same
keep an
here.
eye out.
I'm in the same boat. I have a few vlogs to edit. I'll hopefully get some of that done today. And I will be going to the Character Warehouse on Monday, which I wish I could go today, but I'm going to hold off till Monday because that's like my 2 week mark from the last time I went and pick up some things for my 1,000 subscriber giveaway that I'm going to be doing, which I'm really excited about.
That's
And
exciting.
yeah, so you guys stay tuned for
That's
that.
smart too because it's going to get all picked over on the weekends and they'll
Yeah.
restock.
Yeah, well, they get
Good
shipments on
call.
Monday, so but they had like the pumpkin Loungefly bags and they had farewell illuminations, tumblers.
Oh, nice.
But I'm hoping that some of that'll still be around on Monday when I go and I'll find something. I always do. So
Oh, I'm sure. I went to the one over here or over here. I say over here like I'm in Disney World, over at Vineland, and it was so picked over, and I still found things. So
yeah. Yeah. I'll wait till Monday and it'll be good. Plus I'll go at the end of the night when there isn't lines and crowds and craziness. So I will have a Character Warehouse update on Tuesday and a 1,000 subscriber giveaway, hopefully on Tuesday or Wednesday, that I'll have live for like a week or so.
that's exciting.
Yeah. So, no, thanks for hanging out with us on your Saturday mid morning, afternoonish.
Whatever time it is where you're at.
And you guys have a practically perfect day. And remember, every day is a countdown to Disney.
Yes. See you guys.
Bye, everybody.